Mom wants to tell a story. Hopefully she can this time. Go ahead.
I asked my grandfather to tell me about something that he and his brothers used to do when they were of an age when they could be getting in trouble, but they weren't getting in trouble.
Pick her up, put her on that pillow. Or that. Okay. Alright, just come back, start over. I'll crop it or whatever.
Every weekend, starting just before dark and going till morning, they was cussing and fighting and shooting guns off and just a little bit of anything to be fighting and disturbing everybody. And everybody was tired of it, and all the neighbors were talking about how disruptive they were and how they weren't getting any sleep. So one morning, Mama and Papa was talking about it, and my brother winked at me and nodded his head. I knew he'd thought of something. So as soon as we got through eating and done our chores, he said, "Come on, I got an idea." He said, "I saw all of those people leaving this morning." He said, "They've all taken off, so there won't be anybody at the house." Well, now, they didn't go in other people's houses or things like that, and they didn't destruct things. But he went over and he got a dishpan that their mother had thrown away because it had a hole in it. And he already had gathered up some nails and some wire and a hammer. He had them all gathered up ready to take with him. So him and his two brothers took off down towards that house. His youngest brother was the best climber, so he took the dishpan and he climbed up on the top of the house. And he leaned over the end and proceeded to nail the dishpan just under the eave of the house. And it was quite a noise because, of course, the dishpan reflected the noise and multiplied it. So when he got the nail almost driven in, he took one end of the wire and twisted around and around the nail and dropped it down to the ground. As soon as it hit the ground, his older brother, Uncle L.J., grabbed the wire and started off across the yard to a tree. And then he climbed up the tree. And he pulled the wire real tight and wrapped it around the tree limb. Well, then his brother finished hammering the nail in, and he hollered, "Try it." So he reaches down and he grabs the hold of that wire, and he pulls it and lets it go, and it goes, just kept going. He said it kept on going for the longest time. It was horrible to hear. Talk about 10 cats fighting on the back fence. That wouldn't do it. And it was loud. So they climb down and go on home, take their hammer and nails and things. And when they got home, Mother asked them, said, "Where you been?" They said, "We just walked down to the creek to see if they'd done any damage to the house." But they hadn't done any damage to it. It's just the noise keeping us up. I said, "All right." So, sure enough, that Friday evening, all the cussing and carrying on. You know, the rest of it wouldn't have been so bad if it hadn't been for the cussing, but that was a Christian area. And they didn't anybody go around carrying on like that, talking that vulgar language. So they waited till lay up in the night after their mother thought they were asleep, and they went and climbed out the window and went down through the woods.
I gotta get my strips here.
Yeah. Went down through the woods and all. And the oldest brother climbed up the tree And the two youngest, Grandpa and his younger brother, were sitting down under the tree just about to have a conniption fit, laughing so hard. But he got up there and he motioned to them to be very quiet. So they managed to calm down, and they sat there under the tree. And when he got up there ready to do it now, he whispered down, shh. And in the silence of the woods, a shush can get very loud, he said. So he motioned that he was fixing to twang it. So he took a hold of that wire and pulled it real good and let it go. And that thing went. It was horrible. He said, you never saw so many people coming out of one house from so many different directions. He said, it was fun. He said, we were rolling on the ground laughing, but said that twang had taken so much noise and till you couldn't even hear us laughing and hollering, and we were laughing so bad. Yeah. So he said, nobody came home that weekend until Sunday evening. He said they come in with a wagon and a horse, and they was being so quiet.
A wagon and a horse. No wonder I don't know him. I wasn't in those days.
No, this is when he was a young boy.
I know that, but you asked me the first time we started doing this. You
Yes.
said,
Did
"Do you remember?"
Grandpa,
And I'm like, "No,
you've
I
seen
didn't."
pictures of him now, and
Yeah,
you've heard
I've seen
about him
pictures,
working
but-
at the Capitol. He was called the Peanut Man of the
I
Capitol.
thought it was the Apple Man.
Apple Man, the Peanut Man. And because he's the only one that's ever had a license to sell inside the Georgia State buildings. And my mother and her generation can't get a permit to do it. But if my generation, me and my two brothers, or my cousins, wanted to sell there, and if we went and applied, there would be a chance for us to get a permit to sell in the state buildings because of Grandpa. They held a special session and voted that he could have a permit to sell inside the buildings, and his children could. His grandchildren could, but not his children.
Yeah.
It's because I had two uncles that were not trustworthy, unfortunately. So.
All right. I think that's going to be long enough.
Okay.
You're on.
After Grandpa and his two brothers were all married and had children and grown up, the oldest brother went and bought him a Model T. Well, he wanted all the rest of the family to learn to drive. Then you didn't need a license or anything. You just needed a car. And somebody willing to let you drive their car and take it in the ditches or whatever. Now, the old Model Ts, it didn't hurt them to hit a ditch. You just needed a mule that would pull the car out. So that wasn't a problem. Uncle LJ went down to the house to get Grandpa, and he says, "Come on, Potter," said, I'm going to teach you to drive. And Granny Mac said, "Oh, no, please don't." Said, "He'll put that car in a ditch and dent it up. Papa don't know nothing about driving." He said, "Well, I'm going to teach him." She said, "No, please don't. I really don't want him out driving in a car. Those things have wrecks." Well, everybody was used to horses and buggies then. So the horse knew not to keep going when it was about to hit another horse, but the cars don't. And Granny told me, said, "Boy, I sure didn't want LJ to teach him." But he did. They went off. And next thing I know, Potter comes down through there, and he's hollering, "Ho! Ho, Dobbins! Ho!" Dobbins was the name of the horse. That car wasn't listening. So he hit the ditch. He cleaned that ditch out for a long place. The dirt flowed everywhere. And he's standing up in the floorboard of the car, pulling back on the steering wheel, hollering, "Whoa, Dobbin! Whoa, Dobbin!" Dobbin didn't know. Well, finally he got it stopped because it was wedged in the ditch. And
keep going.
and Uncle LJ went down there. He came up and he said, "Don't worry, Potter," said, "I brought the mule up here. We'll pull it out. It's not hurt." So he hooked on to it and he with the mule and pulled it out. And he said, "Now," said, "take it back up there in the yard and park it." He said, "You don't need to hit the house to stop it." He said, "This right here's the brake." He said, "You got the gas going real good, but this one's the brake. All you got to do is sit down and put your foot on the brake." Well, he finally got it took off, and they started down the road with it. And by then, Granny had walked up there, and she got in the car with him. And she kept coaching him. "Give it gas, Potter." "Okay, just let it coast. Now then, give it some more gas." And between the two of them, they got the car to the house. And she said, "Now turn in here, just don't turn in real deep, just gently turn in." And so he turned in, and she said, "Now hit that pedal. The one that he told you was the brake. Hit the brake. But don't hit it fast because you'll throw us through the windshield." They were going all of 8 miles an hour, which was horribly fast. And so Grandpa finally got it stopped. And she said, "Well, thanks for both my rides." Uncle LJ said, "Both your rides? This is only one ride you've taken." She said, "Yes, it was. It was both of them. It's my first one and my last one."
I ain't doing it no more.
She said she was shaking.
I would say she was.
Well, he offered to teach her to drive. He said, "Somebody in each family needs to be able to drive." She said, "Well, take Oliver and teach him." That was their oldest son. And once he had drove, he never was without a car.
Oliver, he's the one that
He's the one that drank so much.
Yeah, now I can remember she had a newspaper route.
That was his son, Autry.
Autry's the one that took his feet and drug him on the road as we were driving?
Yes, Autry.
Oh, man.
Played the guitar. He'd start playing in
Don't know nothing about no guitar, but I do know he
would put his feet out in the road and drag them down the road. And he was
like, "Everything's okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to hurt him." You know? And we were like, me and Niecy both was like, "Oh, you know, mouth wide open. I can't believe she's letting him do that, not stopping." She goes, "He does this all the time." She said, "If I stop, he will get out and take off running or something." So it's kind of like I have to not, I have to keep going.
Yeah.
So him not to get out and because then he will get hurt.
Yeah, because he ran right down the middle of the street. He didn't have any fear of cars or anything.
Yeah.
And Autry was a great musician. He could play anything with strings and just about anything with a wind instrument.
I don't know. After him drinking all that beer, I don't see how he had any wind.
Oh, he did.
Acting stupid like he did.
Oh, he did. But he was in so much pain, so he would take the pain medication the doctors gave him until it didn't help him anymore. And then he would drink and stop taking his pills.
Oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he should have got a hold of some pot.
And I'm not sure that he didn't.
He probably
Because
did.
everybody liked Autry. And if he said, "I want something," somebody would make sure he had whatever he wanted.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know it scared me and Niecy to death.
Yeah, when he stuck his foot out there.
Yeah. That's something we never forget.
No. And I told him if he did it anymore, I wouldn't let the children ride with him. So he quit. But
No, we never rode with him again. We never did goat ride with him again.
But he wasn't doing it anymore after I told him y'all couldn't ride with him if he did it.
Well, we never did ride with him no more.
His wife told me, she said, I wish we'd have thought of you telling him that a long time ago. She said, my heart don't stay in my throat all the time when we're out now.
Yeah, I can't blame her.
Because what if somebody had hit that door?
Yeah. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody was up.
I know. That's when he delivered his papers, was at the 9.
Yeah. Alrighty. I'm done with all these now. It's time to trim. And
he played the regular guitar. He played a Hawaiian steel guitar. He played the electric guitar.
Okay.
And the one I liked best to hear him play was the Hawaiian steel guitar. Those things are so pretty. And one day he was playing it, and he's standing there in front of all of us, just playing it and singing it with the guitar in front of us. And with the steel guitar, you have a little metal bar you slide up and down it to get that whang sound. And
look at that! Look at those stuff.
well, she's checking it out.
All right. Alrighty, I'm gonna get busy and try to cut this out now. See, I need